On cameras, yeah. Did that one, huh? Oh! Who's on that side? Just me? He's okay. He's going to get a two-stroke penalty showing late to the tee. How are you? Two-stroke penalty being late to the tee.
What's that?
Two-stroke penalty being late to the tee.
Lord. I'd have a few of them this week then. I'm going to ask you about playing well in 14, what really clicked for you, and what do you think is the greatest on-course strength in the Ryder Cup? You know, what? No.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That'll ad-lib that one, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good morning and welcome back to Hazeltine and the 41st Ryder Cup. I'm really pleased to be joined by Patrick Reed. Patrick, you played really, really, really well back in 2014 at Glen Eagles. As you look back on that time, you're pretty young, but what really clicked for you that week? What was going well in your game at that time?
You know, really I felt like I played – I just played like myself. I played kind of my normal game, and I feel like the main thing was, I love match play. Anytime I kind of get in this kind of one-on-one kind of battle, it always seems to bring the best out in me, and it's just one of those formats that I absolutely love. And anytime I can wear red, white, and blue, it means everything. And it just kind of brings out even more of a competitiveness in me, and also brings out an even more fire in me, which kind of just gets me going. And hopefully I can have that feed onto the team.
If you had to take yourself into the U.S. team room and kind of look around, if you had to surmise, what was the greatest on-course strength of that group as collectively?
Ooh, on course?
Yeah.
They're completely different. I mean, you have some of the guys that hit the ball, 500 yards, and you have other guys that are just kind of magicians around greens, and you have other guys on the golf course that are plotters. So I feel like this year we have a group of guys that all have different strengths. You have a small group that hits it a long way. You have a small group that doesn't hit it as far but is very accurate, and then you have another small group that is really good at scrambling. So I feel like that helps us on, matchups, on figuring out who's best with alternate shot, who's best with best ball, those kind of things on pairing up players, as we have such a diverse group that we're able to, pick and choose who we feel like is going to be best with each other on different kind of strengths.
Okay. Let's hit the ground running here. Number one straight ahead.
Patrick, you alluded to how proud you are to wear the red, white, and blue and play. Could you talk about the dynamic of team golf with guys that you're out there every other week of the year trying to beat, and how that comes together as a team, and just how incredible it is to represent the United States as a team?
Well, yeah, we're out there trying to beat every guy every week. But at the same time, every time I go out and play a golf tournament, I'm there focusing more on trying to improve and be the best golfer I can be. And because there's some weeks that you're going to play some really great golf and play really well. And at the end of the day, you might not win the golf tournament. For example, Hero last year. I felt like I played really well. I improved each day. I felt like I was doing everything correctly. But Bubba, he just flat out outplayed me. And, if you take care of yourself, then, that's all you can do, because there's so many guys playing, and with how deep the competition is these days, you can play your best golf, but if someone does as well, you might get edged. And so I feel like that has helped me become more of a team player. So when we're out on the roads and in events like this, we know all these guys. We know all the guys on not only our team, but we also know all the guys on the European team. So it's just kind of one of these things that, for us, I feel like it's getting a lot more comforting to be with these guys. Now being on my second, I've seen a lot of these guys again now, and it's just kind of one of these things that, we're a team, and we're going in there and we're trying to help each other rather than focus so much on ourselves. But we're trying to help each other because one person can't win the Ryder Cup. If you go out and play your best golf, you can go 5-0. Well, you still need 9.5 points to win the cup. So we're now more kind of focusing on what is it that we can do to help each other than what is it that we can do just for ourselves. Because, when you get into these kind of scenarios with Ryder Cup, President's Cup, anytime you have a team event, you have to be selfless. You have to be there to help each other. And if you're willing to help everyone else and help the team and try to become one as a group, then at the end of the day, you're going to be successful. And I feel like we're doing a really good job of that, and that we're building our team and helping and doing things to allow us to become a one unit. And, it's just kind of one of those things that we're working hard on.
Number one, right in front.
Patrick, given your regard for Tiger, what is it like to be in his pod, and what do you know or have you learned about him that you would have not known just seeing him as a competitor?
It's awesome being a part, not only to have Davis as the captain, but then be a part of Tiger's pod. Tiger, you see a guy like Tiger, and you see the credentials he has, all the major wins, the 105 worldwide wins, and, ultimately one of the best golfers ever to live on the planet. And when you have someone that's that successful, they're either going to do two things. They're either going to be like, I don't need time for this, or they're going to be, forthright. And, Tiger's, when I got here, I didn't quite know what to expect. I've talked to him a little bit, but I haven't spent a lot of time with him. And to have a guy like that who, if you ask him any question, or if you need anything, he is there. He's all in. He'll answer any question, whether it's about golf, on the golf course, off the golf course, anything. He's there to genuinely help you, and also to, help you on not just Ryder Cup, but just throughout other things. And it really speaks volumes of kind of what kind of person he is. And it's awesome to see that and to be a part of, because, you need people like that. And to have somebody like him, walking the fairways and, being there with you, and, played 9 holes on the first day, and the whole group, it was so windy they only wanted to play 9. I decided I wanted to go, see the back 9, so I just walked the back 9 backwards. And, he's like, all right, well, let's go. And he walked it with me, helped me figure out the golf course. And, you don't get that very often. And to have somebody do that for you, especially a guy like Tiger Woods, it meant a lot to me.
Let's go with number 3 on the right, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. At Glen Eagles, you got a bit of crowd involvement going. Do you expect to be winding up the crowd again, whipping them up more this time tomorrow? And if so, how are you going to do it?
Of course, hopefully I get the crowd going. But, I have nothing planned. It's going to be just like how it was at Glen Eagles. I didn't have that planned. It's just that's the kind of fire and competitiveness that I have in me that just kind of came out. And it just happened to get the crowd going. And so, I'm not planning anything or anything like that. I mean, just when I get in these kind of situations, I'm going to do something, I'm sure. And, it's just kind of one of those things that, if you sit here and try to plan something or try to do something, now all of a sudden you're taking away from preparing for the golf and, doing things that actually that's more important, and that's going out and winning your point. So I'm just going to go out there and just do, be me, and, hopefully do it well.
Number 2 first, please.
I asked Jordan earlier in the week about why you two seem to make such a good pairing, and he said because you two wanted to beat each other's brains in, not Europe's, each other's brains in. Is that the fine line you walked this week about being so competitive? We saw your fire at Glen Eagles, but is that really what it boils down to? First you want to beat Jordan, then you want to beat the Europeans?
Yeah. If I'm playing with Jordan, I'm going to go out and try to beat him on every hole. And it's just kind of one of those things. I grew up with Jordan. I've played junior golf with him, amateur golf with him. I feel like I've known Jordan my whole life. And every time we play, I go out there and he goes out there, and we're pushing each other so hard on trying to beat each other that just brings the best golf out in us. And that we know that if I'm beating him and he's beating me, and we both succeed somehow in beating each other, that really, at the end of the day, the number is going to be really low. And, that usually if we do our job on taking care of ourselves by beating each other, then we'll, at the end of the day, we'll hopefully close out and win our point pretty early.
On our right, number 1, please. Oh, sorry. Let's go to number 2, straight ahead. Apology.
Patrick, how excited are you to hear the roar of the home crowd this time around in the Ryder Cup?
I can't wait. So I've represented the U.S. 3 times at, Olympics, President's Cup, and Ryder Cup, and all of them have been on the road. I haven't been home yet. And so finally having a Ryder Cup and be able to represent my country in the U.S. is just going to be awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to get out there and just hear the crowds just going crazy, and all the USA chants and all that, because there's just something about playing for your country, and then playing for your country at home. I can only imagine how awesome it's going to be. The fans have been awesome the past couple days, and I was shocked with how many people actually were out here during the practice rounds, and it's been amazing, and hopefully it just keeps on getting better and better.
Patrick, if I can ask, you're playing in your 2nd Ryder Cup. Lee Westwood's playing in his 10th, and Phil Mickelson in his 11th. If you just sit back and think about that, that's 2 decades worth. Does that blow you away in some way?
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Phil and Lee, for how long they have played and how many Ryder Cups they have played. It just speaks volumes on how great of golf they have played consistently throughout their career. And, it's hard to make a team. And to be able to make the team that many times, it just shows how consistent and how good of golfers they are. And to see, how Phil has been these past 2 Ryder Cups, in the team room and, on the range and on the golf course, on how much of a, leader the guy is. It shows that he is a huge asset of the team, whether it's on the golf course or off the golf course. He just seems to know how to bring a group together. And to have somebody like that, it's hard not to have a guy like that, not only on the team, but also if he wasn't on the team, to being a captain or assistant captain, because you need something like that. This is an individual sport, and you're trying to bring these guys together, and you need guys that can do that. And to guys have like Phil, and now Tiger being there, these older veteran, we have Jim Furyk there. Those guys are the ones that can bring a group together. And especially with one of them being a guy who's playing, it's amazing. And, just the stuff that Phil and those guys have done, and with Davis, and it truly is. I have the easy part of the job. I just have to go out, swing a golf club, and, do my job, go earn a point. Now, those guys, they're trying to lead the team. They're trying to make sure they make the correct decisions on the pairings and all that. But, really for us to make them, successful, we have to go out and do our job, and that's to go win points. And, you need people like Phil and, Davis, of course, to make the decisions, and Tiger and, Furyk. You need those older guys who have all the experience to be able to bring them together. And the funny thing with Phil is he just does it naturally. He walks in a room, and it could be just sporadic. You just never know. He walks in, and all of a sudden now everyone's kind of huddled around and having a great time. That's just the type of person Phil is, and it's awesome to be a part of it.
Number 2 first, please.
2 quick follows about Tiger. Have you seen him swing a club this week? And when you went around with him that back 9, when he is explaining things about the course, are you able to understand, because of the detail, why he has won as many tournaments? Is it clear from the information he conveys?
So, no, he hasn't swung a golf club, unfortunately. We're all pushing him to, but, he's not going to do it. But then, when we walk the golf course, and we started on the first, 18, because 18, 17, as we're starting to go back, you could tell he kind of was just kind of watching, kind of seeing how I do my thing. And then, after we got through about 2 or 3 holes, then, he was like, all right, well, he's played the golf course before. He's like, well, this green kind of slopes this way, so if you miss a green, the ball should kind of go over there. So he throws the balls over there, saying this is where you need to be chipping from, this kind of stuff. And, just the way his mind works on the golf course, it's impressive. And it definitely shows on why he has won so much and where he is. It was amazing. I learned so much just for that 9 holes walking around that, I felt like just that alone could save me so many shots throughout my career because of just by thinking about just the little minor details. And it's not rocket science. It's really stuff that you're like, well, I should have been thinking about that. But, so it's nothing complicating or confusing. It's just actually knowing what to look for. And, just the experience and expertise he has and sharing that with me this week has been awesome.
Time for a couple more. Let's go to 3 and then 4. Number 3, please.
Hi, Patrick. The brother of Danny Willett, Peter, school teacher back in England, has made some incendiary remarks about the American audience. I wonder what kind of impact that has had on the team and how you feel about those words.
There's a saying that I've really, lived by. It's, forgive and forget. And honestly, everyone has said things that have either been great and made comments that they haven't really liked. But honestly, for me, it's unfortunate that something was said and not from actual, Danny, because really this is his first Ryder Cup. And I know last Ryder Cup I was at, it was my first Ryder Cup, and it's such a special and awesome moment. And to have something that kind of distracts you from enjoying your first moment, it's unfortunate. And to have a guy like, Danny, because I've played now on the European Tour, so I've gotten to know Danny a little bit, and I've gotten to know a lot of those guys. And I heard the other day that, his family was embarrassed that they were thinking about flying home because they're here this week, and that's just, to me, that's something that, that just can't happen. This is such an, important and great event that, to me, yes, he might not have said some great things, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to enjoy it. And, I'm hoping that the fans and people can, put that aside and allow, the rookies, not only on our side, but the rookies on their side. They have 6 rookies. Allow them to enjoy it, and somehow forgive and forget and allow Danny to enjoy the week, because this is a special moment. It's your first Ryder Cup. You dream about these things. And I just hope, I hope that, he can enjoy his week and have a good week and play some great golf. Hopefully not too great, because at the end of the day we won the cup. But it's one of these things that it hasn't affected us in any way. But at the end of the day, we just hope best for I hope best for Danny and their family, and hope they actually enjoy the week, and that our fans don't just completely annihilate them.
Put a cap on it with number 4.
Having played so well as a rookie, I wonder, do you feel the guys on the team are looking at you differently this time around? And do you feel more pressure to kind of live up to the expectations that you've created?
Yeah, I definitely don't feel any more pressure. I just go out and be me, go play some golf, try to do it the best I can. And as far as the team, it's hard to say. They treat me the same whether we're at a PGA Tour event or whether we're at the Ryder Cup, whether it was our first Ryder Cup or whether it was this week. We all know each other, so we're all treating each other the same way. But come game time, I'm the same way. I'm a fiery guy. I'm a competitive guy. So, I hope to start getting these guys fired up even more. I might, being me, I might push it over the limit on trying to fire them up even more. But it's just that's who I am, and the more fire I can bring to the team, the more I can get them going. Especially if I get out there and I start getting hot and start getting on a quick run. Hopefully, they can see some red on the board early and get going. And it's more on kind of building off of momentum. I feel like in the first Ryder Cup, when we had red early on Sunday, there was a lot of red early on Sunday. But then once, it kind of looked like once a couple of the matches started to get halved, like one or two of the matches got halved, it was like a domino effect. So hopefully I can just keep on bringing that fire and keep on doing my job so then the team can do their job.
He's Patrick Reed, United States Ryder Cup team. Thank you for your time, sir, and we'll see you Sunday.
Thanks.